straight up one-on-one. Didn't have that capability. The kid that good. You know, after the first half, they figured out, you know, what we were doing, and they did some things to expose us, especially running game wise. You know, you take your chances of getting beat over the top, or try to defend them like we did. Thought our coach did a great job, had a great plan. Just, you know, and just made one too few plays.
Coach, how does this feeling compare to last year's final and disappointment, especially in the second half when they didn't win from you both times?
You know, it's a great tribute to these kids that we got back here. And it stung last year because I felt like we gave the game away. We did some things very uncharacteristic. Our kids played hard. They played as hard as they could play tonight. I don't think there was any give up in them. I don't think there was any where we lost our focus or anything else like that. I think it's just, like I said, they made a play. We had an opportunity. We had the ball with 3 minutes to go in the game, you know, and got a holding penalty, and that threw us off schedule. And, you know, the reverse pass, we had 2 kids there and hit him, and we just didn't wrap up and gave him a big play and gave him an opportunity to get in field goal range. Credit to them, they made a play. You know, it was one of those things.
Coach, you can't talk about the defense the way it started. I mean, obviously, you guys gave yourself plenty of chance. The defense was simply controlling the momentum tempo early on.
Yeah, well, you know, the people that have covered us, we've been pretty good defensively all year long. You know, you play against, you know, I've told all of you, and I honestly believe they have as much offensive firepower as talent as anybody we've played. You know, their quarterback is excellent, their running backs are very good, and their receiver was as good as anybody we played against in 38 years. But by the same token, you know, our kids, you know, followed the plan, you know, did a great job on them. You know, what we did in the first half was great. The second half wasn't bad. If you go back and look at it, the long pass they completed right there on us, we hadn't double covered. You know, it's about as good as we can do. And then the other pass he completed on us, you know, we hadn't covered. You know, we took a chance there and single covered him once, and they threw it up to him, and he made a catch. Like I said, I felt like our kids played hard. There were some things, you know, we probably could have done a little bit different defensively. But, you know, for the most part, you know, it came down to us, you know, making first downs and putting some points on the board. I knew that going in the game, and I told all of you that it was going to take, you know, I felt like it would take about 35 to win the game, or at least 4 touchdowns. And we didn't produce that. You know, they were that good. But like I said, you can't fault our kids. They played extremely hard.
Did their quarterbacks hurt you a little bit more in the second half? Something that they had shown, a wrinkle that had shown earlier?
Well, they went back to that play more than what they had shown earlier. You know, their starting quarterback they took out and they put in the sophomore kid that was faster and could run and do some things. When they were in the Wildcat, we were okay with it because, you know, we understood that we probably weren't going to get as much passing in that thing. But, you know, when they were back there like that, you know, the kid, you know, has great speed and he made some plays. But, yeah, that did, you know, like I said, it created some problems for us because of what we were doing. But like I said, you know, we had one less guy in the box because of the coverage and things. And they got us manned up in some situations that probably weren't favorable for us, but we did, you know, what we expected to do as the best they could. And they did, like I said, you know, credit them, you know, and like I said, if you had gone the game, and I felt like, you know, that we, you know, we'd be able to stop them, but I didn't think we were going to be able to shut them out or anything. And, you know, 23 points, about as good as I felt like we could hold them to. And, you know, that was being realistic, and, you know, that's what they've done to everybody. But, you know, you know, certainly looking back, there's some things that we could have done better, but I don't think there's anything that our kids had to be ashamed of.
Coach, I know so many of the kids have wanted to get back here, and I know that they were very happy to see Cedar Hill again have a shot at getting revenge for last year. What did you say to the team in the locker room? I mean, what's obviously we all know that they're upset, but what did you have to say to them in the locker room after this?
Yeah.
I told them they lost the game, but they didn't lose their spirit. And that's the greatest thing they have. They didn't lose their courage. And they fought as hard as they could. And, nobody's going to point the finger at them. They can't say that they didn't do what they were asked to do. They played extremely hard and did exactly what they were asked to do. And, if somebody wants to point the finger at somebody, they can point it at me. We felt like we did what was best for our football team to get the best chance to win.
Gary, can you talk about just maintaining the level of excellence that you guys have been able to do? A lot of guys from Cedar Hill reference not only their program, yours, Alito, South Lake Carroll, the programs that really maintain that level. Talk about how you guys do that at Katy year in and year out. The kids coming up just are ready to fill the holes for the guys that graduate.
Yeah, it's a compliment to our kids and to our program, and really it's a compliment to our school and the school district. People there want to see them succeed. And, it's not like that in a lot of places. And the parents there in our school let you coach your kids. And they understand that we are going to coach their kids. And we're going to make them better men. And we're going to make them better people. And by doing that and letting us coach them, then our kids usually buy into what we're doing. And it's the same with all the great programs. You have to have a foundation. We got a pretty solid foundation. It takes the administration we have, and it takes our coaching staff, and it takes the school, and we do have that. It's a great thing and a great tribute to everybody. You saw the crowd support we get tonight. It's not just tonight. We get crowd support throughout the year, and our people want to see our kids do well.
Could you tell how Anderson lost that ball when it looked like it was about to go in? It looked like it just kind of popped out. How pivotal was that sequence with him coming back and scoring on the other end?
Hindsight's 20/20. I don't fault the kid. The kid's made plays for us for 4 years. He's about as good a football player as I've ever coached and things. The kid played with a lot of heart, a lot of class, and it's one of those things. I knew we had to be clean in this thing, and even after that, we still had chances to win. And that's what I felt like. Even when it was tied 20-20, we had an opportunity to win the game. We just didn't take advantage of it. It just happened. But I don't know. I think as I said, they may have put their hat on the ball, but it wasn't anything to fault him about. He played great.
How happy to see Patty Fisher get that defensive MVP award.
Well, I had several kids that played, outstanding. I thought Colin Wilder played outstanding. I thought Patty played well. You look at up and down, anytime that you can sit there and I know for the game, the stats were big and things, but, for the first half, to sit there and play like we did, the only shame was we probably didn't have enough points on the board in the first half. Like I said, we knew that it wasn't, we weren't going to be able to win the game with 13 points. Proud of our kickoff return team, proud of Hunter Surrey, stepping in and making a big play for us. Like I said, the kids didn't quit even after they scored, and things, and they kept fighting, and that's a credit. But, Rodney Anderson, there's not much more that can be said about the kid. He's a great football player, and he's an even better kid. And, there's no fault in him at all.
So you're one of those programs that can get here, or has been here a lot, but like you've always said, just how hard is it to make it this far?
It's extremely hard, and people sometimes don't even understand, how hard it really is. To sit there and have your kids practice and perform for 19 weeks out of the year, and to get to this level, and to sit there and have to be mistake-free for 19 weeks, it's extremely hard because your margin for error, our margin for error is very small. And, we have a lot of kids in our program, but it's not like we have a lot of Division I talent in our program either. And, our program is based on hard work and fundamentals and execution. And, when we don't execute, then we have a hard time.
You talk about the margin for error. Anderson did do a lot in this game, obviously, for you guys. Did you get enough out of the other positions? Because it seemed like Cedar Hill had a lot of guys making plays on there.
They did. Credit to them. you know, our offensive line of scrimmage, you know, at times wasn't as strong and physical, you know. And I'll say this, we put in, you know, Josh Thornton in the second half, you know, and Josh has got a torn ACL and came back and played with that, you know, and he wanted us to play, you know, for this opportunity. We hadn't had to use him up until now, and he came in and played well. But, you know, it's the kind of things that, you know, our kids do. They want to sacrifice for each other, for the team. It's a credit to him.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations on a great year.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.